Hi, I'm Rob Vanstone, and welcome to what I think is the 19th, possibly the 20th Leader Post Rider Rumblings video podcast. Nice, concise title. I am flanked by two legends of Canadian university football. From the University of Waterloo, Waterman Murray McCormick, who is now the fine beat reporter for the Leader Post covering the Rough Riders.
I'd like to say my university career had absolutely nothing to do with my journalistic career.
And from Simon Fraser University, number 74 with the Rough Riders. What did you wear at SFU?
Number 70.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
You upgraded 4 spots for the pros. Dan Rasovich.
Yeah, it's interesting, like who would have thought, you were numbers like the 70s for a linebacker.
I know.
Yeah, that's
I remember
weird.
when they used to be receiver. Well, they still have the occasional receiver in the 70s, but now they're 80s. And
I never picked the number, so yeah.
no affiliation or any particularly warm memories of having that number other than it's just your number.
Just my number, exactly.
And one that became very familiar during 13 years with the Rough Riders, right? 87 to 99.
Lucky 13.
Yeah, it keeps coming up, except in 2009.
Yes.
We're really honored to have you with us today, Dan. Thank you so much for taking some time. I know it's a very busy week, or an especially busy week for you. Can you take us through what's turned you into a dervish these last few days leading up to Saturday?
Well, this upcoming Saturday on September 22nd, we have an event called Believe in the Gold. Gold is the color of children's cancer, and it's a fundraiser. It's a walk-run event at Wascana Park in front of the Ledge Building to the west side of the Gardens. And like I said, it's a walk-run event, and it's like I'll just say it's a mini Disneyland that day. And it's a day, to create some awareness for children's cancer, and basically 45% of the funds go to families in Saskatchewan, and the other 45% goes directly to a researcher named Dr. Mahoney. He's at the University of Calgary using viruses immunotherapy, and he also has stuff going to trials, actually, and he's having a lot of successes. So, because only 4% of research money for cancer actually goes to children, so it kind of falls in line, not just for myself, but also our alumni who are the community sponsors of the event, and, kids and families. I mean, that's kind of our mandate, as alumni. So we'll have a lot of alumni out there that day. Poli has confirmed that he will be there. Dominguez has confirmed he will be there. So it's going to be good. I told the guys, make sure you wear your jerseys, and, it's going to be, I could expand on it more, but it's going to be a fun day.
I'm just to make sure people know, so the Riders alumni.
Riders alumni.
To make sure we clarify that.
That's right.
And just maybe quickly, why did you guys pick that one? Because you have so many things you could have been involved in.
Yeah, no, for sure. This is the second one. Last year was the first one, and the reason being was, for sure, I think I was the driver behind it. But last year I got this phone call from a good friend of mine named Mike Soroshka, who was my roommate when I played with the Argos. So last year he phones me up. Hey Dan, you know what gold is? I said, I know what it is. And he goes, you know what it means? I said, no. He goes, that's the color of children's cancer. I said, oh, do you know how much money goes to children's cancer research? I said, nope. And he told me 4%, 4 or 5%. And then he goes, do you know what the number one killer of kids is between, birth and say teenage years? And I said, well, I do now. But he didn't know that my oldest son was diagnosed about 2.5 years ago. So I took that call a bit of as a message, and I said, what do you want me to do? I needed to chair this event, and part of it was because Crescent Point Energy is a big sponsor of the event. They're the major sponsor, and because they do so much work in Saskatchewan, they wanted to do this in Saskatchewan, and they wanted to make sure that their sponsorship and the funds raised here do go to Saskatchewan families. So kudos to Crescent Point as well.
So what's all happening on Saturday to turn it into Disneyland North?
Man,
we've got Disney in Saskatchewan. Now we have Disney as well.
Oh, man, hey, we're going to have candy stations on the walk for the kids. They got medals when they cross the finish line. We'll have Disney princesses and superheroes, and of course Gainer the Gopher, and we got the Rider Pep Band. We got RMF football throwing. We got bouncies, face painting, gold balloons. We got serving, just telescopes. Got the therapy dogs there. We're going to have breakfast and lunch served with registration. We're going to have Tim Hortons coffee. We're going to have gelato stations. We're going to have cookies. We're going to have tattoos from the Rush and from the Riders. We're going to,
And this is all a 100-meter walk? No way.
Yeah. Oh, hey, if you want to do 100, do 100.
How
man.
far is it for?
We got 2, 5, and 10K.
Okay,
And it's, it's all around kind of the Wascana area, park area. And hey, great day. I mean, if people are interested, register at Run for Childhood Cancer or go to Believe in the Gold and make sure you either donate or register for the Regina event. Because again, I said it last year that I want to beat Calgary. And we did. Okay. Just so you know, we beat Calgary.
So the superheroes are named Rasovich, Dominguez,
yes,
and Poli.
Yeah. Actually, it was pretty funny when you talk about it. So when Gaynor the Gopher walked across the field and the kids are rushing him, even Spider-Man dropped to his knees for Gaynor the Gopher. I got a picture of that, actually. It was hilarious.
Yes, we are in Saskatchewan, aren't we?
Oh, it was awesome. That's right.
Saturday is a busy day. Just generally, not only your great event, the Riders are playing the Toronto Argonauts on the Dan Rasovich alumni game, the Rough Riders versus the Argonauts.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting. How do you get a read on this team? Are they the team that won 4 in a row, or are they the team that really didn't play very well on last weekend? It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I would think simple math dictates 4 is greater than 1, but there seems to be more of a response to the 1 than the 4.
For sure. But at the end of the day, like I've talked to some people, like at the end of the day, we were in the game right to the end. And even as bad as we played, defense gives up close to 500 yards offense does nothing. You know what? We're still in the game, and so I'm kind of an optimistic guy, I guess. And I kind of look at it as, even for me in penalties, bad game for the team in terms of penalties and not creating turnovers, and we're still in the game, so, that's a pretty positive. I see that as a sort of a positive, because you know what? The guys are probably going to look at it this week and try to clean things up and, make it even closer and give us the opportunity to win those close games. Yeah, and that's kind of the way I kind of look at it sometimes.
That's how I looked at dating my future wife. I didn't do very well, and I spilled food at dinner and didn't say things were very intelligent, but she kept dating me, and so you're still in the game.
Still in that
almost 20 years.
Defying belief, kind of like that one. I guess maybe a last-second Hail Mary might have helped you.
Yeah, or Hail Murray.
Hail Murray, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Because back in the day, like I remember Roy Shivers just saying it was one game a year where you get your butt handed to you. Quite often, and usually that's the score ends up in the 50s and they lose.
Yeah,
and that was a game where literally they had their butts handed to them, and pretty well, except for the special teams. We'll give the special teams a lot of credit; they did a lot of good things, but otherwise they got beaten badly, and they were still in the game till down to the last minute. So maybe that says people shouldn't be as pressing the panic button as much, shouldn't be as worried. Having said
what's
that,
a columnist supposed to do if I can't press the panic button?
I wonder what's your thoughts. What's your thoughts on the offense, Rob? You haven't really told us much about that. I've noticed I've really married your restraint and lack of wordmanship on the offense. What are you hitting? Are you hitting 4,000 words yet?
I'm hoping to. I'm right. It's the second book I'm working on at the present time.
Geez, the ending. Hope the ending's better than the body of the book, though, because right now the whole part of this book is not very good. It's not a shot at you, but this offense was as bad as it could get, I think. And
that's saying something for this offense. I mean, they were worse against the Calgary Stampeders, but marginally.
The defense was better.
Special teams, though, a topic near and dear to your heart. What do you make of this special teams unit? You played on a lot of them. How good is this one compared to some of the ones you've seen?
Pretty good. The returns have just been amazing. It's just. You got some good returners back there, obviously. I kind of look back, guys I played with, I think it might have been 91, 92, where we had Willis Jaycox and Albert Brown. Maybe that, I think maybe we returned 4 or 5 for touchdowns in that season. And I think, I don't know how many we returned for touchdowns this year.
4.
4.
Okay.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean?
Moore with 2. Christian Jones with 1, and now Marcus Thigpen.
Yeah.
In 91, Willis Jaycox took 3 back all the way, and Albert Brown took the opening kickoff all the way. So.
That's right. So, we're already, looks like we're going to break that. And I don't know what the record is for touchdowns in a season with the Riders. I mean, I don't know, but hey.
I don't think that one's in, with the offense not chipping. I don't think, maybe on special teams, but right now, the way the defense is contributing and the special teams are even kind of interesting. You know, you look back on the game, the Riders didn't get a sack, eh?
Nope.
First game they've been held without a sack.
They didn't get a chance.
First game they held with a sack since Ottawa beat them 9 games back. So it's a bit of a, maybe they showed that a good offensive line can keep them.
The offensive line, I mean, not to discredit the Ottawa offensive line, but part of the game plan was to get rid of the ball quickly. Trevor Harris, 44% of his throws were released in under 2 seconds. And that tells me part of their plan to, and correct me if I'm wrong, part of their plan to neutralize the pressure was just not give them time to get there.
Yeah.
And lots of short passes. But you better complete them if that's your strategy.
And your guys better catch them. Right?
And tackle.
In Ottawa, man, I mean, a lot of those balls were tight. You know, there wasn't a lot of room, you know. So it wasn't like the receivers were wide open. I mean, they were just good timing throws, quick and precise, and the receivers made the catch, you know, where, you know, I guess like us, you know, we dropped some balls, you know, and obviously that doesn't help the quarterback and the confidence of the offense and, you know, just to continue, you know, the continuity, right? I mean, I remember back, you know, mid-90s, late 90s where, man, I'd be like, come on, offense, like, you know, 2 and out. Well, you know what? It's pretty tough to win games, you know. I mean, you can win with defense, but you need a little bit of offense. I mean, you need something, right? Yeah. You do still need something, not just special teams.
You need sustained drives that kick defense off their field for a while, so you can catch your breath
and field position.
And field position. They didn't even have field position. They had
exactly.
Well, Trevor Harris made some of the nicest throws I've seen. That one to Spencer for 20 yards in the sidelines. There was nowhere else to put the ball. There was one play. I think it was for about a gain of about 15 or 20 on the right side. And there was a linebacker, and he put the ball right over to the linebacker, right to the receiver on the sidelines. And that reminded me of a throw that Ken Austin made to Ray Allgard in the 89 Grey Cup.
I remember that.
It was the same, virtually the same play, except instead of Pete Giftopoulos, it was a different linebacker.
I think it was Frank Robinson that went over, maybe.
It was just a beautiful pass.
I remember that.
So much, I thought of that throw in 89 when I saw that play on the right sideline. It was just, Trevor Harris was just throwing the ball beautifully. The touchdown to Spencer, nowhere else you could put it.
And what was he? Harris was what, 26 for 34 or
27 for 34.
27 for 34. I mean,
just beautiful passes too.
Yeah. And the Riders had 10 completions.
Yeah.
Can you imagine 10 completions in one game? But mind you, I saw that pass from Zach to Kieran Moore was pretty nice catch, pretty nice throw, and we thought maybe Zach was going to come back and show something, but 10 completions.
I know.
Yeah. It's just, how do you run an offense with 10 completions?
In the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, no, like it's just...
You know, that was a quarter for Ken Austin once upon a time.
So,
yes.
So what do they do with Zach? You know, you're a football guy. What do you do with Zach? Do you put all the blame on Zach? Do you put the blame on if it to go all around, or is it Zach the guy pulling the gun, pulling the trigger, and making the plays?
I just think, you know, it's a combination. No, it's not just Zach. I mean, there were some drop balls, and I think just, you know what, I think the offense is going to come out this game. I think they're going to play a lot better. They will play better, just, you know, have some sort of plan, right? And I think he'll play better. You know what? He's going to play better. I mean, that, as any athlete.
We keep saying that.
Yeah, well, I know. I mean, I was listening on the radio just how, you know, we're kind of close to Montreal in terms of offense, in terms of 2 and outs and even completion percentage. I was listening on the radio the other night, but it just seems, you know, like since he has come back, he has done some good things that have kept the offense on the field. It's just, you know, obviously this game standing out more than any other game, right? You know, so I believe he's going to have a much better game. You know, like you got to get the running game going again too, right? You know, just kind of get that, you know, play action, get the running game going. And, you know, I mean, you got Thigpen, you can run it up outside with him. And I mean, you know, inside and outside, just sort of misdirection type plays and kind of, you know,
pretty basic football.
Yeah. I think they're going to play better. I really do. You know, I really do. I mean, I think Ottawa, you know, their backs were really up against the wall. You know, they really needed to win that game. Not that we didn't need to win it, but there's
not a huge consequence for losing that game. That could be overcome.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think that we're sitting in a pretty good position right now in the standings, and I think this is a kind of it's a big game for us to go into Toronto and win this game for sure.
In Montreal the next week.
Exactly. Hey, two games that, you know, we always say, hey, we should win these games. You know, but no game's easy. Hey, it doesn't matter. Even when you're playing a bad team, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy because they get paid too. I mean, you bet you have to show up, you know, because
you wouldn't think Montreal and Toronto should pose huge challenges given what's going on with them.
Montreal's got a good defense.
They've already lost to Montreal.
I know. We still can't believe that.
They got a good defense, you know, and they do. You know, I mean, I know the last game looked worse than what their defense played. You know,
well, two pick sixes
exactly
kind of skew the score, but they defensively there really wasn't a lot wrong with what they did.
No, you know, so that'll be a challenge still. Even when we go to Montreal playing there,
that game's always brutal.
It's going to be tough.
11 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right opposite the NFL. Drives me nuts.
It's going to be tough, you know.
Geez,
like again, there's
Broncos are 2-0. The Broncos are 2-0.
So the Steelers are 0-1-1. How many people can say their team's tied the Browns?
I wonder if the Giants wish they had Brett Jones still.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah.
Or that they drafted a quarterback.
Yeah. I was thinking that.
But as we talk, are there reasons to be concerned about the defense? Does one game say, hey, kind of shows up some of the flaws in the defense? You know, not much of a pass rush. I don't think the linebackers are very good. They didn't stop Powell, who seems to have more success against them than Andrew Harris. Like he's just a powerful Powell runner, and just that 69-yard TD he rolled off there.
I know
to ice it was just. Everyone was just, that hole was there. I think Rob and I could have walked through that hole.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
the one on the 19-yard run they lined up giving them a 2-yard hole.
Yeah.
Look at that. And that's where we're going. It was 1st and 15. They probably didn't expect a run. And
that's right. Yeah. You know, just pin your ears back and thinking, hey, let's get upfield. No, for sure. And I guess the other part is too. I was thinking, I took that run out of the stats, I guess, for him, and he still was averaging 5 yards a carry.
He does that. He does that against the Riders.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, and if you're averaging 5 yards, even for us, like. I noticed too when we were running the ball when we were winning those games. I mean, first down we were getting like 6 yards a crack. You know what? And that sure makes second down easy.
I like Trey Mason.
Yeah, 100%. He hits it quick and hard.
And it seems like they give him the ball. He kind of heads into a pile of humanity, and then there's just a big cluster, and then he comes out the other end. It's almost like a paper shredder. Where he just kind of goes in and boom, out the other end.
No, he hits it up in there real quick. I noticed that. Hey, and then he falls forward.
Yeah,
and you know he gets that three. You know he's probably run 4 yards, falls forward, gets another 3. Boom, he's got 6 or 7 done.
Part of the problem though is that more success they have with Mason, it seems to be at the exclusion of Marcus Thigpen. I think that's a weapon on their offense. Even if you're not handing him the ball, there's got to be ways to use Marcus Thigpen more. Granted, he was returning kickoffs too, but there's got to be ways to use Marcus Thigpen more on offense than the 2 touches that he had last weekend.
Yeah, he's good. I was talking to some alumni up in the alumni lounge in the game. Actually, we had Darian was up in the lounge this week, and Mike McCullough and Chris Best and Chris Getzlaff, and I was talking, you know, with Mike and just saying, man, he's got that extra gear, man. Like he has that extra move or gear. Like there's, you know, definitely, hey, like
Kieran Moore is pretty fast too. I said, like, do you think you could beat him in a race? And he kind of looked at me. I don't know. It'd be pretty tight. But.
So does Marcus Thigpen count as alumni because he was with the Rough Riders before? It's the second stint. He might be an active alumni or an active alumnus.
Well, he wasn't around really that long.
Yeah. No, they never actually played him.
You count guys on practice roster as alumni?
If they've never played, no.
Yeah, no. You have to play down.
You got to play. You got to play a game.
Yeah. So no, Vince Young is an alumni?
Yeah. Nope, he's not an alumni, unfortunately. No. Yeah. So, but no, I mean, they got some weapons. Hey, we got some weapons on offense for sure. I think we do, you know, and just, I guess, figuring out how to use them, combine them, right?
What constitutes weapons in your estimation? Because it's so easy to diminish what they have on offense. At least I've been doing that.
Shaq Evans and Josh Sanford.
You know, it's kind of like I like the big. I don't know. I just remember playing against guys like Pinball. Oh, he was a weapon.
That wouldn't have been fun. Where'd he go?
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like you don't want to be caught one-on-one in an open field or covering, because it wasn't that he had blazing speed, but it was just that quickness. He just had that. He had enough speed, but he combined that quickness with with what he had, man. He was scary.
And there's nothing to tackle. 4'2",
Yeah.
right? Like, what do you do?
You
4'2" and 300 pounds. But he was so solid, such a solid.
He was,
person.
man. You know, plus he wore his shoulder pads so loose that when he went left, his pads went right. and if he decided to do the opposite, to bend the pads were the other way, and he was like, you were looking at two of them. It was like, where do I hit him, man?
Watch, eh?
Where do I hit him? I'm serious. Like, he did that on purpose, I swear. You know, and like a guy like Thigpen, right? I kind of look at, you know, in that sort of category where, you know, he's got that quickness and speed that, you know, he makes people miss.
I don't know how you change the offense
makes
to
people
get him.
miss, man.
Sorry. How do you change the offense to get him more involved, though? Like, we kind of thought a sign of this offense with the intermediate passes. Goes, how do you get Thigpen more involved in the game? But do you take out one of the guys like Evans and a wide receiver where he really wouldn't be that close to the ball?
Well, you
can't put him as a slot.
You can move guys around too.
Yeah.
I mean, Rob Bagg used to line up as a receiver and play slot, or as a wide out, and they'd move him.
Yeah,
There's got to be
times.
ways to create some mismatches. They did that when they did the 25-yard touchdown pass to Thigpen. They had him in the backfield, flanked him out to the left, and put him one-on-one.
Yeah.
You should be able, a guy with that kind of speed, you should be able to at least have certain packages where you can use that to your advantage offensively. It's like they didn't even try.
They kind of started at the beginning of the season with Kristen Jones. They tried to use him in packages as a wide receiver and slot back and running back and stuff. But then Chris Jones says, you know, he wants to keep him as a returner because he's so valuable. And he is so valuable as a returner that he's gone now. And kudos to the Riders a little bit. Then they lose an impactful receiver, a returner like Kristen Jones, and Thigpen and Kieran Moore step up to fill the hole. So they've done some things they've done well, and that is have guys available. The next man up is pretty darn good in some situations. So
you've played some defense in your life.
Yeah,
a lot of it.
Yeah.
Rough Riders. I mean, two in the Labor Day Classic. Andrew Harris lit them up. Didn't do that the following week, and now they've been lit up by Powell. Now they get to play James Wilder Jr. What do they have to do to stop the run against Toronto?
Yeah, and I like Wilder too, man. He's tough, eh? Like, I mean, he can break tackles, and you know, I think, you know what, a guy like that, you just can't. First, you can't give him any room. You can't let him get, you know, you just can't let him get any space or room, because once he does, or he gets some open field, you know, then it's a problem, you know. So I think you just gotta, up front, you really gotta kind of shut it down. You gotta get guys, hey, stay in your gaps. You know, you just can't give him that extra room, and he's kind of dangerous like that. You know, plus he's got great hands.
yeah,
You know, he's got great hands. He's kind of like a little bit, you know, like a Saunders, like Mike Saunders kind of, you know, in the sense that, you know, you can line him out wide, you can move him around. He can, you know, he can catch the ball, just like, I mean, last year in that playoff game, you know, he ran that out and up, you know, and he made a great catch.
Guavin was on him too. I know Algren was a couple of yards back of him, and maybe a yard and a half, but it was a great pass too. It was a great play call. It was,
you know, I mean,
one more, it happens in the CFL.
I know.
5 yards from Grey Cup.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I know just defensively, I got to get back to basics, you know, and I'm sure the guys will, especially after a game that we just played here against Ottawa. You know, we got, I don't know how many yards, 170 against us, roughly, maybe, you know. I mean,
100, yeah.
148.
148.
18 carries.
Yeah, so, you know what, defenses don't like, you know, being exposed, I guess, so to speak, you know. Because, you know, like we went back to Winnipeg, we shut the run down again.
Yeah,
right.
It was non-existent.
Exactly. So I'm assuming to see the same thing this week, where the guy's kind of, okay, you know what, down, you know, it's kind of down in situation and place on the field and all that kind of thing, and expecting what they're going to run, you know, and that's what you do on defense too, right? You know, kind of break down in situations so you understand, okay, what are the odds? What are the odds of what's going to play with formation and down and distance and placement on the field?
Murray, we'll give you a chance for your final thoughts. This is like a Jerry Springer final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Okay, I guess we have first.
Be good to everybody.
I should have had a few preliminary ones then too to get to the final ones. I think they're going to be in pretty good against the Argos. I don't think Wilder's having his big year. No, he's not. It's not as impactful. I don't know why. Quarterback is a bit of an issue there. I think it's going to play into the Riders. I anticipate the Riders' defense coming back and playing like they have all year. And who knows what the offense will do. I don't know. How about that for final thought? Maybe they can get back to where they were in the 4-game winning streak.
I just like, and just in terms of, what the team they do play with hustle. Man, I've really noticed that. Like, I don't know what it is from the beginning of the season to now, there's just this extra intensity of how the team is playing as a whole, and I think that's just awesome. It's exciting, to see because I think they believe in each other, and
there's a belief in that.
Totally. I feel that, even just as a fan watching it, and that's kind of exciting to see that with the team, I really do.
I just think it's interesting to note that that's their first loss since Duron Carter was cut. So
now we got the Duron Carter.
Duron Carter.
Every week he's the one constant.
It's a great story.
And they get to play him this weekend. If you don't write about that, don't come back from Toronto.
Okay, I'll try to get him to open up.
Dan Rasevich, again, giving our shout out to your wonderful event on Saturday, please.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, Believe in the Gold. Hey, this Saturday, Scana. Run for Childhood Cancer website, or Believe in the Gold. Registration's only like $30. Oh, I missed this part. So yeah, you're gonna get breakfast and lunch, but also we have registration bags for people who register, and got all kinds of goodies in these registration bags, like pizzas and Mary Brown's chicken, coupons, etc., and all kinds of little gifts in these little bags. So you know what? Hey, kids will love it. Trust me, they'll have a great day. The weather I can't control. Just like when we played football, I can't control the weather, so don't worry about those things. Just show up and come out and have a good time. And I hope to see a bunch of people out there and, hey, supporting childhood cancer. And I guess, come out and visit a bunch of alumni too. We'll all be out there.
Just one night. How much did you raise last year?
We raised almost $70,000 last year.
Wow.
And we also helped, from the last number I heard, we helped about 17 to 20 families in Saskatchewan. So financially.
Wow.
Yeah. So, if there's a family out there that, that needs help, they can just go to the website and fill out there's a form. You can just fill it out and we'll help you.
How's your son then?
He's doing good. He's got 3 months of treatment left.
Yeah.
It's been about a 2.5 year process because it's ALL, acute lymphoblastic leukemia. So just the treatment takes forever.
Yeah.
It's a long process. So I know he can't wait till it's kind of over. And
how old is he too, by the way?
He's about 23.
23.
So, it's rough. I feel for all those families, it's just, because, benefits run out for families too, right? Like, medical benefits, and some things aren't covered, right? So that's where, some of these kind of funds will help support some families as much as we can.
That's very good. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank
awesome.
you. I remember
Kudos.
parking in a hospital.
Yeah. Parking, gas cards, hotel, I know a flight to Toronto maybe, or
time away from a job.
Time away from a job. Big time. Like big, especially say you got a daughter or son who's been diagnosed, and if they have brothers and sisters, well, even the impact on their brothers and sisters, because there's so much time spent in a hospital with the one sibling who's been diagnosed, and a lot of dynamics going on there, and so anyways, you know what, that Saturday is a day for the kids to have fun and hopefully not totally forget, but kind of try to maybe put it in the back of the mind, just have a good day and have some fun, and see that there's a lot of people who actually do care and who are aware, and learning more.
Well, that's awesome, Dad. Kudos in advance, and congratulations on everything you've done so far.
I thank you guys for everything you guys have done for, when I played, and even the things we're doing now, and to our alumni. Thanks, guys.
Oh, pleasure,
It's our pleasure.
Thank you so
Can't
much.
wait
For
Toronto on Thursday night. I love Toronto. Great city to visit.
Have a nice time. I'll be in Regina accomplishing much less than either of you fine gentlemen. For Dan Rasevich, number 74 from the University of Waterloo Warriors.
Warriors, exactly. Yeah.
Murray McCormick, who had one special teams tackle.
I don't think so.
Only 60,428 fewer than Dan. I'm Rob Vanstone. Thanks, and we'll do this again next week if they'll let me. Take care.